Welcome back, and I think we can have a little look at old favorite of mine. This is the Ur-Quan Masters Star Control 2. As you see, it is a port. It's abandonware, fan-made version of the old classic. Without much further ado, let's jump into the new game and enjoy the opening cinematics. And here we are in a solar system that should look familiar to you. Let's go in. But before we do anything else, We are quite clumsy. Let's go to Earth. But
attention, interloper. Heed this recorded message. This drone vessel speaks with the voice and authority of Ur-Quan. You are trespassing within Ur-Quan space. This world, Earth, may not be approached for any reason, nor will hostilities against our orbital platform be tolerated. In addition, your ship does not respond to standard hierarchy identification transmissions, and is therefore deemed to be independent. This is not permissible. Only subservience shall be tolerated. This drone now leaves to inform the Ur-Quan of your transgressions. You are commanded to remain here and await the arrival of the Ur-Quan. Disobedience will be punished.
I will not listen to them. Let's go straight to Earth, I think. But why is Earth looking so weird? Oh. Crew, I want a complete scan of the planet. What do you say? No available data? Can we land? No? There's some kind of shield keeping us from landing or interacting with Earth. That's not good, is it? There is this orbital platform though. They told us not to attack it.
Attention, unidentified space vessel. I am Starbase Commander Hayes of the slave planet Earth. Our hyperwave broadcast is extremely weak. Situation critical. Energy cores exhausted. Scanners and deep radar are non-functional. We cannot identify your vessel. Are you the scheduled hierarchy resupply ship? Repeat, are you the resupply vessel?
Oh, excuse me, I just got pulled away by the music. I think the only choice we actually could go for here is the last one. Slave planet! Hierarchy resupply vessel. What is going on here?
Look, I don't know who you are or why you're here, but right now the only thing I'm worried about is saving the lives of 1,900 men and women aboard this starbase, and right now you're our only hope. I can't keep the transmitter on too much longer. We need the power for heat and air, so if you don't have any radioactives on board your vessel, please get some and bring them back here before it's too late.
Where could we possibly find these radioactive elements?
The fastest way to get radioactives in this system would be to land on Mercury and scour the surface for deposits of radioactive elements. But be careful. Mercury's a pretty inhospitable place. Watch out for earthquakes and those high temperature areas.
We leave now to find elements you require.
Thanks. I'll make sure to mention this the next time I talk with our masters. I'm sure they will reward you.
That sounded ominous. Alright, let's go to Mercury. As you all know, Mercury is the planet closest to the Sol. It only takes a day to go to Mercury. In a slow and sluggish ship. I guess it's not slow since we go very fast. Alright, I want a complete scan of this mineral scan. Nothing alive in there, as one would suspect. Let's dispatch the lander. These are radioactive isotopes, so let's land close to those and pick them up. plutonium, uranium, some iron, and fly away. As you can see here, it costs us a bit of fuel. It's based on the mass of the planet. If I select dispatch, it will tell us over to the right there, fuel use. But let's not dispatch, we already went down there. We have the elements we need. We picked up some uranium. That should work for the reactor, I think. Let's very slowly go back to Earth. We're gonna have to do something about these engines. We missed Earth. It's a common problem. Like so. Let's go back to the commander and deliver these radioactive isotopes.
Did you find any radioactive elements for our power cores?
Now we're ready to transfer radioactives.
We're initiating transfer of radioactives, Captain. Now, as soon as our engineers can refit the energy cores, that's much better. Power ratings are climbing, life support is coming back into the green. Deep radar systems and sensors are now online, and I can scan your vessel. What the hell kind of ship is that? Just who are you, Captain?
I'm Captain Bear, the Starship Vindicator. We are the survivors of Star Control Science Research to the Vela solar system.
Star Control Science Mission, huh? Captain, I served as a Star Control officer during the war aboard several cruisers in the Corward Front. And if there'd been any scientific mission to Vela, I would have heard about it.
I'm not gonna argue with him about that. Just gonna tell him that I need him to explain a few things. We sit on the ship.
Okay, what do you want to know?
To begin with, what is the purpose of this starbase?
Ur-Quan slave law requires that we maintain an orbital space platform to assist hierarchy vessels which are in need of repairs or fuel. Since the shield around the Earth cuts us off completely from the planet, we're dependent on the Ur-Quan resupply ships for our non-renewable resources. The resupply vessels are supposed to arrive every 5 years, at which time the Ur-Quan somehow penetrate the shield and exchange those of us up here with replacement personnel from the surface.
Alright, what about this strange red glow around Earth?
When the Alliance lost the war, the Ur-Quan gave Earth a single choice. Join the hierarchy as battle thralls and fight for the Ur-Quan to enslave other sentient species, or become fallow slaves and be forever imprisoned on a single world encased in an impenetrable energy shield here on Earth. We choose not to fight for the Ur-Quan.
Where are the Ur-Quan now?
Soon after the Earth accepted the Ur-Quan's oath of fealty, they departed, leaving behind a battle group of Spathi and Ilrath ships based on the moon.
Oh. Spathi and Ilrath based on the moon. Commander, what was that red, fast-moving object in orbit around Earth?
That was the Ur-Quan security drone. It keeps an eye on us. Captain, what happened to the spy drone?
When we approached, it transmitted a warning and warped into hyperspace.
Oh no! Right now it's probably cruising through hyperspace heading right towards the closest hierarchy outpost. When the Ur-Quan find out that you're here, they're going to send a combat fleet instantly.
Alright, that's not good. The mission to Vela was highly secret.
You know, come to think of it, there were some rumors that Corridor 9, the Special Operations Division of Star Control, was directing some hush-hush operation near Androsynth Space. The Vela star system, yes, that would be the right direction. So, Captain, if you say it's true, how do you explain that huge alien starship you're flying? And why are you here? What do you want from us?
we have returned to Earth to give you the technological secrets of the precursors and to help you fight the hierarchy. That was our mission.
Ah, fight the Ur-Quan. Win back our freedom. I remember having such thoughts myself once, long time ago. That was in the first years after the defeat, when it was still terrifying to look up and see the bloody glow of the pulsating slave shield overhead. Though day and night we gazed up at the impenetrable wall as though the sheer power of our hatred would pull it down. But over the years I spent so much of my time struggling, down on the surface, under the shield, and then later up here trying to keep the station alive, that I'd forgotten what it means to be free, to hate our Ur-Quan Masters. And now here you are, in an alien ship of unknown power, offering me your assistance to fight against the hierarchy again after all these years. Captain, your offer is intriguing. It's tempting to think that with your advanced precursor technology we can somehow crack the Earth's slave shield and reassemble the Alliance to attack the hierarchy. And this time, win the damn war. But consider the consequences if you should fail. The Ur-Quan won't just punish us here on the station, they'll exact a gruesome retribution on the surface below as well. Before I commit this station to helping you attack the Ur-Quan and accepting the risk of annihilation if we are defeated, I have to make sure that you and your ship have what it takes to oppose the hierarchy. I'll make you a deal. If you can eliminate the alien base on the moon and get rid of that threat at least, I will seriously consider your offer.
Alright. I guess we can ask him about some details about this place before we go.
After the Ur-Quan erected the slave shield around the Earth and established this space station, they decided to leave a contingent of combat ships close to the Earth to keep watch on our planet and confirm that they were obeying the Ur-Quan slave laws. I'm certain they're still out there on the surface of the moon because we can pick up a constant stream of alien broadcasts.
Alright. Let's go neutralize his base.
Be careful, Captain. There are probably a dozen Spathi eluders and Ilrath Avengers down there on the lunar surface. I don't know why they haven't come after you yet, but when they do, you'd better have your weapons armed and your thrusters burning hot.
Let's go to the moon then to impress him. Fight this contingency of battle fleets. I'm not really looking planetary orbit. I wouldn't call the moon a planet, but alright. Scan. There's some minerals down there. Oh, there's energy and some biological things going on there. Let's land a bit away from the base, I think. We can shoot. This is... Alright, we just destroyed it, I guess. Doesn't seem to do very much. Let's pick up some iron while we're down here. I have no idea what that is. It doesn't seem like any kind of... that doesn't really seem like anything, I think. We have discovered an alien base and explored its interior. The installation must have been abandoned many years ago, but great care has been taken to make the pier active. Life support systems are functioning, fusion generators are at full output, robotic construction vehicles have been programmed to roam the lunar surface. Oh, those were the ones we attacked probably, bulldozing moon dust into random piles. In addition, we have found the installation's hyperwave block to transmit mode, endlessly playing the same alien recording. Although we cannot translate the message, our senior tech design Rigby released a message to some kind of alert or maybe Mayday broadcast. The base is filled with useful materials and equipment. We will scavenge as much as we can and bring it aboard immediately. And a report. That's good. If we go down there again, it will cost us some fuel, so let's reserve the one we have. I don't think anything down there is really valuable. So let's head straight back to the commander. See what he has.
Have you dealt with the base yet?
We found the base, but this was abandoned many years ago.
I'll be darned. All these years we've been listening to their incoherent broadcast, and we never even guessed. Captain, listen closely. Long-range sensors show a ship closing on this station fast. Our computer identifies it as Ilrath, Avenger class.
Oh.
I think you've got a fight on your hands, Captain. Your best bet is to wait until you have point-blank range. Captain, it's jamming our signal.
Oh, that's bad. And he actually gave
By
us
the fetid breath of the Dark Twin Kazan, a human and an alien starship. How fascinating. When I intercepted that Ur-Quan drone and learned that an unidentified starship had approached Earth, I never expected to find such a remarkable vehicle in the hands of a human. Humans are prey animals, weak and helpless. But here is a human in an armed starship, and therefore in direct violation of the oath of fealty. I am sure our masters, the Ur-Quan, will punish Earth most severely for this treachery when I present them with the twisted wreckage of your ship and your many charred corpses.
Oh, he doesn't seem very friendly. But once again, just listen to the music. I like this game. I think the most interesting one would say, look, let's be reasonable. We can coexist peacefully.
You must be either a naive child or a hopeless fool. In either case, it makes no difference, because soon you will be dead.
Let's not fight with the Vindicator itself. I'm going to dispatch Captain Adama. Oh, that didn't turn out too well. I'm gonna have to choose the Vindicator either way. Alright. Oh, we lost a lot of crew and we lost a support vessel. That's bad.
What a beautiful sight, Captain. I haven't seen an Avenger blown away like that since the battle in Draco. I guess you've shown that you can handle yourself in battle, Captain. So my last reservation about helping you has been dissolved. I will commit this station to helping free Earth and defeat the Ur-Quan. We may get our atoms rearranged in the process, but by God, Captain, we're going to try. So the obvious first step is to get the precursor equipment and software over here so that we can make it work with our ship repair fabricators. But then what, Captain?
I like the second option. I think the third one is the one most closer to Captain Bear, I think. We will slowly build our strength, unify an allied starfleet, and bring the Ur-Quan to their knee equivalents.
A sensible plan, Captain. Let's get to work.
Yep.
Good luck. By the way, Captain, I think we need a name for this new alliance we're going to forge. And since it was your idea, it's only fair that you get the honor of naming it. So, what will it be?
The Empire of Bear. I think the new alliance. The old one was the Alliance of Free Stars. I think this would be the new Alliance of Free Stars. Make everyone remember that we actually fought together against the Ur-Quan. Yeah, the new Alliance of Free Stars.
Okay, that sounds pretty inspiring. So be it. the new alliance of free stars. Now, Captain, I expect the configuration process for the starbase to take at least 2 weeks, so let's get to work. I have good news to report, Captain. We have successfully integrated the precursor technology from your ship into our fabricator system, and as you can see, we've already begun minor repairs on your ship, patching up some of the micrometeorite holes. We noticed that your ship does not have an emergency warp escape unit, so our engineers rigged up some for you and each of your escorts. Now, you should be able to escape from a bad situation with the touch of a button. But there is a cost, however. The unit gulps up 5 fuel units each time your precursor ship uses it. Also, we now have a limited capacity to make modifications to your ship, to refine starship fuel, to build additional combat ships, and to train new members of your crew for the flagship and any ships you acquire for your fleet. Captain, I know you're eager to get to work, so I'll be brief. If you have any questions how this starbase works, what resources we need, or just some background information on the galaxy, don't hesitate to ask.
We do have minerals to upload. We got some from both from Mercury and from the moon.
The more minerals you bring us, Captain, the faster we'll be able to tackle the Ur-Quan.
Now we got some more resource units. Before proceeding, we do need some additional background.
Certainly, Captain. What do you need to know?
I think we'll pick these options in order. How would you elaborate on your facilities here at the starbase?
We can modify your precursor ship, build additional combat vessels, and supply you with fuel and crew.
Yeah, sounds good. I think he said he had 1,900 men and women on board. That is more than we have on board, but we lost quite a bit of crew. We both lost a support ship, and we also lost 16 crew on our main ship. We took a heavy beating of that Ur-Quan ship. What can you do to enhance and modify it?
Our engineers and precursor specialists agree with the scientists from your world that your starship was designed to be a workhorse vehicle, which can be easily reconfigured for different missions by adding or swapping self-contained equipment packs, which we call modules. The modules we can build right now are thruster units, which make your ship move faster, attitude jets, which allow you to rotate the ship more quickly, crew pods, which provide life support facilities for up to 50 additional crew members, storage bays, which increase your ship's cargo capacity for mineral resources, fuel tanks, which hold an additional 50 units of fuel, dynamos, which feed energy into your combat energy batteries, improving your weapon's rate of fire, and last but not least, ion bolt guns, combat weaponry, the exact function of which depends on its location aboard the ship. When put in the first or front module slot, it fires a single shot forward. When put in the second slot, it fires 2 shots, spread to the left and right of center. When put in the third slot, it fires 2 shots directly left and right. And when put in the last or rear slot, it fires a single shot straight backwards.
All right. How do we get fuel for the indicator?
This base is designed to service hierarchy ships. Fortunately, your flagship uses the same stabilized antimatter technology as hierarchy vessels and will be able to synthesize what you need. However, due to the size of your ship, we'll have to produce vast quantities of fuel, which will be a substantial drain on our resources.
How could I assemble a fleet of fighting ships?
Our shipyard facilities are sophisticated and fully automated, permitting a handful of starbase personnel to do the same job as 500 vac-suited construction workers. However, the only designs that we had in our computers were incomplete hierarchy ship designs. Things looked grim until one of the officers came forward with an amazing story. Even though the Ur-Quan destroyed every Earthling cruiser in the fleet nearly 20 years ago, one of my maintenance engineers was a starship production assistant at the Detroit shipyard. When Earth was conquered, she was ordered to destroy all ship construction databases. But she secretly made copies of the blueprint discs and then kept them with her ever since. These disks contain all the data we need to build as many Earthling cruisers as you want, provided you, Captain, can supply the large amounts of mineral resources required to build those vessels. In theory, Captain, we could build alien starships here if we had designs for them. However, it's a well-known fact that alien vessels just can't be flown in combat without native starship captains at the helm.
Alright, we need allies in order to fly the ships. How could we acquire additional personnel for my ship?
We have almost 2,000 highly motivated, skilled professionals aboard this starbase, and every single one of them wants a berth aboard your starship. However, each hand we lose to your ship means less manpower here at the starbase, and this is reflected in the crew RU cost. As long as you don't lose too many crew members to combat or planet exploration, the RU cost will remain static. But we have only so many warm bodies on this starbase, and if your needs for crew grow beyond a certain point, the cost could increase dramatically.
Oh. Let's not kill too many of them. Could you please explain your resource allocation?
As you know, Captain, we've committed the entire output of this station to building your flagship and your battle fleet into the strongest force possible. However, our resources are very limited, and we feel you must decide how we are to spend our effort and materials. To aid you in making these decisions, we have implemented a resource allocation scheme. We provide you with a numerical assessment of the station's resources and ascribe a cost to each task we can perform and each device we can build. It's up to you to decide how you're going to spend your resource units, or RU as we call them. To acquire more RU, you must bring resources back to the starbase. These resources can be either in the form of mineral ores gathered from planet surfaces or already refined metals and other valuable materials from the wreckage of enemy starships.
There is a trick to this, I think, because if we bring back minerals, it will take up storage in our ship. The resource units we get from destroying other starships, I remember, is just free, it doesn't take any space. What kind of resources are most useful to our mission?
The most straightforward way you can accumulate resource units is to bring mineral ores back to this starbase. There are probably enough resources in just the nearby dozen stars to build your ship into a powerful battleship or to create a strong task force of combat vessels. I would also recommend that you build several additional storage bays. When gathering minerals, focus on cleaning out one star system at a time. This way you minimize the cost of travel through hyperspace.
What use are planet landers' sophisticated life forms and in the analysis of features?
While I respect your search for abstract knowledge, frankly, Captain, in our present circumstances, I see little use for such data here. Perhaps you can make use of biological information elsewhere.
Perhaps you could do that.
What else can I tell you?
Tell us about how to defeat the Ur-Quan.
Can you be more specific?
Where can I find the most useful, plentiful mineral resources?
If you have the patience, I would recommend you spend several months or even a year gathering mineral resources. You can find such minerals on almost any planet surface, but the quality and density will vary depending upon the type of planet you're on. Base metals are probably the most common materials you'll find, but they aren't particularly valuable. You can find rarer precious and radioactive elements on metal-rich worlds such as Mercury. An old miner once told me that you could tell the relative quality of a planet's minerals based on the planet's color as seen from space. To remember the color sequence from good to bad, the miner had a mnemonic that went something like, "Very young orangutan could grow bananas perhaps rather well." It is also the case that mineral yields will be better at hotter stars. Temperature is related to the size and color of a star. Red stars are the coolest, then orange, yellow, green, blue, and the hottest stars are white.
Red? Very young orangutans. Let's go back.
The hottest red star temperature is. It is also the very young orangutan could grow bananas perhaps rather well. It is also the case that mineral yield
If you were in my shoes, what would you do now?
Let's see. You need to build up and balance the strength of your flagship. I would add thrusters up to, say, 5 or 6. Speed is essential in combat, but it would also pay off over the long haul in hyperspace. And if you prefer to avoid confrontation, nothing beats a great pair of legs. I would add turning jets for increased maneuverability. I would add enough weapons to defend yourself if you're caught without escort ships. You need more crew, at least 50 to make productive voyages into space. You need additional fuel, at least 50 units. Your weapons will be underpowered in combat if you don't have at least 1 dynamo. I guess I'd gather more minerals to build up a good supply of resource units.
How should I deal with the aliens I meet in space?
That all depends on whom you meet, doesn't it, Captain? Well, in all seriousness, if you encounter the Ilrath, Vux, Androsynth, or other hierarchy battle thralls, I wouldn't hold out much hope for a peaceful encounter. So if you feel you have the advantage, attack. The resources you will scavenge from the enemy's wreckage are well worth the effort. If you can find Alliance races who are in a position to help us, then you must convince them to join with us. Their assistance may be crucial to our success.
It is. How can we deal with the Ur-Quan?
Captain, I wish I had an easy answer, but I don't. The only way I can see of liberating Earth as well as the Alliance allies is to destroy the Ur-Quan and their armada of battle thralls entirely.
Oh, that sounds impractical. I think we have learned what we need to know about now. Any long-range plans? Alright.
To defeat our enemies, we will need awesome strength, both in your flagship and the fleet, as well as the assistance of powerful new allies. Though combat will be unavoidable and sometimes necessary to achieve our goals, I'm certain your wits will be at least as important as your weapons. You'll need to explore this region of space, gathering resources and information wherever you go.
How we can find the Ur-Quan?
I don't know, Captain, but I suspect their battle thralls know more than we do, so I suggest you try to gather information from them, perhaps by force.
How could we attack the Ur-Quan most efficiently?
At first, your ship will be far too vulnerable to permit frontal assaults on the Ur-Quan. Even when your ship is at full power, we're faced with the reality that the hierarchy has thousands of ships. You cannot win the fight alone, Captain. You need allies. Also, towards the end of the war, when the hierarchy broke through the Corward front, we heard rumors that the Ur-Quan had unleashed some kind of super weapon which was unstoppable by normal means. You need to find out if that rumor was true, Captain, because if the Ur-Quan do have such a weapon, we'll have to find some way to stop it, or all our efforts are for naught.
How can I make alliances, and with whom?
If you encounter an unknown alien race, proceed carefully and diplomatically. We need all the friends we can get, and we certainly can't afford any more enemies. Remember, Captain, with your precursor starship, you hold awesome power. But there will be situations when dealing with an alien race where a carrot will serve better than a stick. But first, you must determine what carrot the alien wants.
What is the fastest way for us to build up our strength? Because we really need to do that.
You need to accumulate enough resources so we can build up your flagship and assemble a strong fleet. I'd also recommend that you acquire blueprints for other more powerful ships than our trusty cruiser. I suspect that aliens will not give you such prints unless you form an alliance with them.
Let's move on to another.
What else can we discuss? What else can I tell you? Fine. Is there anything else you need?
What?
Certainly, Captain. What do you need to know?
I clicked in error. Historical data.
What aspect of history, Captain?
Are we ready for this? Alright. Tell us about the other Starfaring races.
Which group of aliens?
Oh. The members of the Old Alliance, perhaps?
Okay. Which race?
Oh.
What other group of aliens are you interested in?
Let's,
Would you like information on any other aspect of history?
Let's ask about those Ilrath and the Spati.
What about the war? Would you like any information on any other aspect of history?
Oh.
Sure. Anything else? What aspect of history, Captain?
Okay, now we got the options back. Other
Which group of aliens?
And the battle thralls.
Which species?
Tell us about the Ilrath.
I still have nightmares about those spiders taking me prisoner, using me as one of their 6 sacrifices to Dogar and Kazon, their twin gods of destruction and torment. Those guys were almost as scary as the Androsynth to those of us in Deep Space Patrol. Their Avenger ships could appear out of nowhere and melt a cruiser down to slag in seconds. Luckily for us, the bulk of the Ilrath fleet was thrown against the Genjesu and the Myrnaherm.
That is, by the way, a very, very good name for an alien race, the Myrnaherm. Tell us about the Spat.
Imagine facing a cowardly, mobile clam armed with a howitzer, and you've got a good idea of what it's like dealing with a Spathi. Although they tend to avoid battles as much as their masters will allow, once in battle, a Spathi eluder is one tough cookie. I once heard a rumor, though I don't like to believe in it myself, that a rogue band of courageous Spathi broke away from the main Starfleet, painted their ships black with bright red stripes, and formed the Black Spathi Squadron, dedicated to performing brave and hostile deeds. Like I said, I'd have to see it to believe it.
You also mentioned the Androsynth and the Vux. Let's go with Androsynth.
When I was flying combat missions along the Corward front, there was nothing we feared more than the Androsynth hit-and-run squadron. Their blazer ships were more than a match for our cruisers, so we stayed clear of Ada Vulpeculae, their home star. In addition, I think each of us aboard the ship knew deep down in our hearts that the Androsynth had a damn good reason for hating us. Our grandparents had kept them as slaves for nearly 50 years.
A good tip when playing this game: have some place to take notes, because those things they say, they matter. Tell us about the Vux.
The Starship Far Voyager under the command of Captain Jeffrey L. Rand encountered the Vux near Beta Mira. Although the details are hazy, it's generally accepted that Rand offended the Vux starship commander with an inadvertent insult.
Now we have the Unga and the Mycon. Let's ask about the Unga and the Mycon, so we're done with the battle.
It's unfortunate that the Umga fell to the Ur-Quan so early in the war, because I suspect we would have gotten along well with those big blob creatures. At the very least, it would have been entertaining. We know them a bit better than most races because they were eager to talk with our ships before, after, and during battle. The Arilu intimated that they had a relationship with the Umga before the Ur-Quan arrived, but I don't know any details.
Tell us about the Mycons.
The Mycons are hard to get a handle on. In fact, I'm not sure any human has ever had a real conversation with a Mycon. What we know of them, we've learned from their corpses, which, I may add, have a nasty habit of coming back to life when thawed out from a decompression quick freeze. Mycon ships seem to expend a significant amount of energy on life support. This is probably because the Mycon only thrive in temperatures close to the melting point of lead. As far as we know, the Mycon are the only race to actively seek out the Ur-Quan in order to become combat slaves.
No. That's enough information about the hive.
What other group of aliens are you interested in?
Now we have sufficient information.
Would you like information on any other aspect of history?
No more history.
Sure. Anything else?
I think we're gonna splash this out over a bit.
Fine.
And
Is
no
there
more
anything else you need?
Goodbye, Commander.
Blow up an Ur-Quan for me, Captain.
Let's outship our starship. We do need fuel, so let's get some. Oh, it's expensive. It's very expensive. Let's fill her up. Let's get some modules. Crew pods. We can't afford any crew pods. We can afford some storage space, so let's get a storage bay. Or not. Let's actually go see if we can get some thrusters. Because oh, do we turn badly. No, we're a bit faster now. That should work out. And shipyard. We can get some crew here. Let's get crew. Oh, we can buy some cruisers. We blew one up. Let's get crew for the vindicator. Fill her up with crew. Our crew is our hit point in combat. Every time we take a single point of damage, it's a crew member dying. Let's leave. It's time for us to go. Find some resources. Let's actually do this. Let's go to the outmost, I wouldn't call it planet, but body at least. Let's go to Pluto. Begin in the see, we turn much better now. Not good, but better. Let's begin in the outer rim and then work our way in, I think. Here's Pluto. Just a few minerals, but also an energy. Energy is usually bases or places that are important somehow for the plot. Soul crystals, those are very valuable. So let's go check out that energy plate. What's that? Oh, we took damage. Mayday from surface. We have come in fire from an alien vessel we have found hiding on the surface of the Pluto. Captain, they killed Habadowski, Fritz, Jim, O'Donnell, Luigi, and all the three of the Lieberman triplets. We have returned fire, but our stunners can't penetrate the ship's hull. We are initiating emergency launch procedures. Oh, they shot us.
Attention, a big, mean, hostile alien vessel hovering overhead in an obvious attack posture. This is Spotty Captain Whistle. I know you are going to torture me, so let's just get this over with right now. The coordinates of my homeworld, Spottywa, are 241.6 by 368.7, and the ultra-secret Spotty Cipher, which is known only by me and several billion other Spotty, is Huffy, Muffy, Duffy. Sorry about that little mistake with your landing vehicle. I was so startled when it approached my vessel in a threatening manner that my automated defense systems fired on it when it got too close. I hope nobody got hurt.
This music. Don't kill us!
Okay, sure, we won't. Just remember though, this offer may be revoked at any time.
what you doing out here in Pluto?
About 20 years ago, this region of space was dominated by a loose confederation known as the Alliance of Free Stars, which was composed of the aliens native to these parts who did not want to be enslaved. They made a valiant effort against the superior Ur-Quan forces. It even looked like they might miraculously defeat the combined Ur-Quan armada, right up to the point at which the Ur-Quan totally defeated, indeed annihilated them.
Oh. So what are you doing here in Pluto?
When the Ur-Quan armada entered the system to subjugate formerly the Earthlings, the Ur-Quan presented the humans with the standard slave options. Join the hierarchy as combat roles and retain some autonomy, including the right to travel through space, or become a fellow species and return to free atomic savagery on the surface of their homeworld, encased for all time beneath an impenetrable force shield. The humans chose the latter option, and so were swiftly imprisoned on the surface of Earth. But the Ur-Quan didn't trust them to obey the restrictions, so they chose a small group of hierarchy combat starships from the Earth and Titan fleets to create the so-called Earth Guard and station them at a base on Earth's moon.
Earth's moon? This isn't the Earth's moon. Where are the Ur-Quan now?
Our masters don't really keep us very well informed about their goings-on, so that all we know is that immediately after the subjugation of the last Alliance race, the Yahat, I think, the Ur-Quan doubted their dreadnoughts and departed for the edge of the galaxy, commanding us to obey the slave laws or face their wrath when they returned.
Do you know anything about other alien races?
We only know bits and pieces of what happened to each race. For instance, when defeated, the Yahat joined the hierarchy as combat roles, while the Cyrene chose to be slave-shielded on a planet in the Bug Squirt star system. No, that's not right. I forget its name. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, the Shafixti. They were utterly wiped out in a gigantic blaze of glory.
Bug Squirt? What do you mean, Blaze of Glory? What happened to the Shafixti?
The Shafixti were half feral, as you know, having been uplifted by the Yahat just a few decades before the start of the war. Given their habit of detonating those suicidal so-called glory devices in combat, it came as no particular surprise to me when, upon the arrival of the Ur-Quan Primary Task Force at their homeworld, the Shafixti caused their sun to explode in a colossal supernova, destroying the entire planetary system, and not incidentally dozens of Ur-Quan dreadnoughts.
Tell me what you're doing on Pluto now.
Originally, we were stationed on Earth's moon, which made us Spatty a bit uneasy, because with each passing day we grew more and more worried about the sneaky Earthlings making a surprise attack. But the Ilred kept telling us that it was impossible, since the Earthlings had no ships or weapons whatsoever. That made us feel a bit better, but when the Ilrath left, again we grew fearful, and decided to make a strategic redeployment to Mars. Later on we decided it would be prudent to relocate to Jupiter's moon, Ganymede, then later Saturn's moon, Titan, and finally here to Pluto.
Oh. What happened to the Ilrath station at the system?
The Ilrath contingent were supposed to be the toughest ridge crest, the most rigid flipper, yes, the backbone of the Earth Guard force. But they departed the system en masse not long after the last Ur-Quan dreadnought vanished from this region of space. They claimed to have received a direct order from their gods of evil and darkness, who had grown dissatisfied with the Ilrath's passivity and wanted them to kill, or at least torture someone soon. Personally, I believe they just got bored and went off to have some fun.
When do you expect the Ilbrath to return? Because that's important.
Well, when they were pushing up into hyperspace 18 years ago, we asked them that very question, and I think they said something to the effect of,
Real soon.
That sounds like them. What's happening at the base of Luna then?
we decided that if the Earthlings figured out we had abandoned the base on Luna, they would be more likely to try something sneaky. So, we rigged up some old service androids and ordered them to drive around on the lunar surface in bulldozers, endlessly pushing around the same piles of dirt. In addition, we connected the base's local radio transmitter to an audio malnorme fun rum called Winky's Happy Night, hoping they would think we were still there.
Winky's Happy Night. What happened to the other spotter ships?
Over the past years, it became necessary to redeploy strategically some of our Earth-powered forces to our homeworld in case of a sudden surprise attack by a vicious, unrelenting alien race which we Spotty call the Ultimate Evil!
Uh-oh. How many crew do you have on board?
Dozens, that is to say scores and perhaps even hundreds of my brethren stride through the corridors of this specially modified, super-efficient, mass-destruction-oriented starship, which could lay siege to an entire planetary system should we choose to do so, which, fortunately for you, we have decided not to do today. I am undone. You are far too clever for a poor Spotty like me, and now I must submit to your superior alien intellect. I guess I am not revealing any truly important secrets if I tell you that each of my species' lunar-class void ships typically holds 30 Spotty crewmen, though at present my vessel, the Starrunner, is not up to full complement due to the needs of my homeworld in their resistance against the Ultimate Evil. And in fact, my vessel is somewhat understaffed right now, seeing as how I am the only spotter on board, which is a bit frightening, as I am sure you can understand.
Oh, poor guy. Or what is this Ultimate Evil?
As yet, the Ultimate Evil remains largely unmanifest, and its powers and exact intentions are still a bit obscure, since it lurks just outside the range of even the most sensitive long-range detectors, which we feel gives conclusive evidence as to the Ultimate Evil's nefarious intent.
Why are you still here, Captain Whipple?
Since it was our most powerful and unforgiving masters, the Ur-Quan, who stationed us here, we knew it would be grossly stupid to disobey them completely, but we decided it would be okay to send just one ship home. We used one of our most ancient and solemn rituals, Poon Taffy, to pick the lucky ship. Then, some months later, we decided that it wouldn't really hurt if we sent one more ship home. And then later we sent another, and then another. Well, you get the idea. Alas, as fate would have it, when the final ritual was performed, I, Barriffo, was left here alone. For as even the most immature in wrestling knows, there must always be one spotter who puts the short top on stick.
Tell me about yourself, Whipple.
Me? You mean me, personally? How nice of you to ask! I was born a poor green incrusting, the youngest child of a family of 18,487. My male parents had to work hard to support us, very hard, but each of my brothers and sisters and I tried to help out to make ends meet. The female parent was kind and sweet to all of us. Why, she once even called me by name! She said, what a treat, a golden memory. I swiftly matured into a fine example of my species with my parents' assistance, achieved independence. Specifically, they pried me from the door jamb and rolled me into the street. Thus prepared, I set out to make my fortune. I had great dreams in those days. Yes, great dreams! I knew that someday I would be vastly rich, wealthy enough to afford a large, well-fortified mansion. Surrounding my mansion would be vast tracts of land, through which I could slide at any time I wished. Of course, one can never be too sure that there aren't monsters hiding just behind the next bush, so I would plant trees to climb at regular, easy-to-reach intervals. And being a spotty of the world, I would know that some monsters climb trees, though often not well, so I would have my servants place in each tree a basket of perfect stones. Not too heavy, not too light, just the right size for throwing at monsters. I was thinking about what color the stones would be painted. Aqua, mauve, or magenta, when a vegetable cart came careening down the street outside my house, and knocked me unconscious. When I awoke, I was aboard the void ship Star Runner, headed for Earth. Apparently, I had been out of my head for quite some time after the accident, and with the assistance of some kind strangers, had been relieved of my funds and convinced to join the Navy, where I have been unpleasantly employed for the last 25 years.
Oh, poor guy. The galaxy seems with threatening monsters. Are you happy here? Alone? Vulnerable?
How true, Captain, how true! In truth, just between us, during the past 7 years, I have been quite ill at ease, and yet now I find myself enjoying your company. This witty dialogue, and the presence of your huge, powerful, death-dealing starship, which, being my friend, you would certainly feel compelled to use in order to save me from any hostile life forms who threatened me with death.
I am sure you would feel a lot safer if you were with us. Come on, boy. You're an elf, please.
Happy days and jubilation! I discard all prejudice and hesitations and accept and celebrate your offer of protection and your undying commitment to my well-being. I must wax melancholy for just a moment though, and make sure you understand that any other spotty ships we meet at large in the galaxy are not going to be quite so responsive to your friendly gestures as myself, since they bear more heavily the yoke of Ur-Quan enslavement and are also apt to talk themselves out of a line with a totally unknown alien, which I, having been left here alone, cannot do. Welcome me aboard, Captain.
Now, we got a spotty starship. Let's leave Pluto. Bring Thwifo with us. 8 crew. We killed 8 of us. This would be Neptune then. Let's search through the world out from the outside and in. Usually I try to do it from the inside and out, but in this case I wanted to meet Thwifo. As you see, the orbit doesn't really say much, the atmosphere doesn't really say much. The temperature, you prefer the lower ones. The hottest ones sometimes will produce flames, and that will hurt your lander. Weather, class 2, that's harmless. Teutonics, class 2, that's harmless. Mass, lower mass is good. It's easier to land. Radius and gravity, the day doesn't really matter, the tilt doesn't really matter. So let's dispatch the lander. It will cost half a unit of fuel to go down there. And it does not really seem that there's very much to get here on Triton. So let's actually not land on Triton. I think we're alright with not landing on Triton. I think it would repay the fuel, and it's low risk, but it's also very low reward, so let's not bother. Oh, come back in. We really need better thrusters. But come on. Oh, we're back on Pluto. Oh, no moons. Let's see what happens if we approach Uranus. No minerals, no energy, no biological. Can we dispatch? No. This is not a place where you can land. It's a gas giant. You can't land on gas giants. You have to land on rocky planets. So usually for the gas giants, it's the moons that are interesting. So that would be. Let's go here. Saturn. See if we can find something on the moons of Saturn. Very young orangutan could grow bananas perhaps very well. This should be a medium one, I think. Ah, it's low gravity, so let's actually land. As you see, the weather is nasty. Oh. Oh, we're taking damage. Barium. Oh, let's go away. It's not worth it. We lost a few crew there. I guess that's technically worse than the other planet, but whatever. Jupiter, I had high hopes for you, Jupiter. Oh, come here. Come here. You little... or you giant. As you see. Violet. Very young orangutan. This should be a good one. Nope. 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 No reason to land. Nothing happening on Callisto. Green one then. Should be a medium. It's low on crew. This is really just base ones, but it's like low risk. Cyanoacetonate. That. It's something. That could be the least valuable ones, but it was easy to land. It was no risk, so. Green. Oh. These are not these lower ones are radioactive, so let's pick those up first. This should be astatine. The orange ones, they are radioactive. Astatine. I think let's go pick up the last one of the radioactives, and let's fill up with the red ones are not very valuable, I remember. Astatine, so let's pick up one of those. The red bar next to Orlando there is bromine. We're not going back here, so let's pick up another one. We could do this. We could look at the manifest in the cargo. As you see, the red ones, these ones, the blue ones, they're common. They're not at all expensive. 1 resource unit. These are base metals. 3. As you saw, the red are quite bad. Radioactive are quite good. This has some nasty tectonics. And doesn't seem that it have very much of value, but let's try to learn. We might as well. Oh, these are radioactives, that's good. Actinum. I misspoke. Oh, let's re-land again. Usually, I think from the things that are a trouble when you land, I think tectonics is the least dangerous one, because usually you can see them and dodge them while they're coming. They give a little forewarning. They give you that little what? Come on, respond. Oh. Kicked outside of the game. It gives you a little forewarning. That was worthwhile. Jupiter, let's go to Mars. And after that, let's go to Earth and save our game. Oh, come on. We'll really need better thrusters. We already went to Mercury. Some base metals. Quite heavy fuel use. Let's visit Mars anyway. Some base metals, some aluminium. Aluminium. Right. Let's pick one more up, fill up that last dot, and let's never revisit Mars again. That's Mercury. We already been to Mercury. Come on. Oh. Now we only have Venus left. Let's talk to the commander.
I hope the battle fares well, Captain.
Oh, that's alright. I have some minerals to offload.
Not a bad job, Captain.
Thank you.
Bring back lots of minerals, Captain.
Alright, will do. Let's see if we can outfit the starship a bit. I think, as you all can say, we really need more thrusters. Buy some more of those, and some more of the speed ones. That's worthwhile, I think. And let's also see if we can get some if we can get some crew. And let's also fill up the spotted looter we got. I should tell you to be careful. If you go below the amount of crew, if you actually put brittle on your ship, or on the starbase in this matter, his ship will be scrapped and sold, and you can't build it again. So be careful with brittle. Let's depart the starbase, select the game, save the game in slot 1, and tell you good night, thank you for joining me, and I will be seeing you next time. Thank you. This is how you do it. Goodbye.